Learners to today's explainer. We're looking at the problem filter, monetizing daily frustrations. We are literally flipping the script on frustration today. We're going to explore a really radical framework that takes your daily annoyances, those little moments of friction you experience every single day, and transforms them into actionable, monetizable businesses.
Okay, let's dive into this. Think about your day so far. Have you complained about bad service or a struggle in your city recently? Have you muttered under your breath about a late delivery, terrible customer service, or maybe just a super frustrating commute? I mean, we all vent about these things, right? But here's the thing. Every time you point out a flaw in a system, you are unknowingly conducting high-level market research. You aren't just complaining, you're identifying market gaps. These complaints are actually missed paydays. Just imagine the person who got completely fed up trying to flag down a taxi in the pouring rain. That one annoyance eventually paved the way for the ride-sharing apps we all use today.
It all boils down to one central thesis from our source material. Every problem has a business behind it. Now that creates a bit of cognitive dissonance, doesn't it? It forces a really powerful shift. Usually, we act as passive consumers. We get annoyed, we complain to a friend, and we just move on. But this framework, it demands that we become active creators. If a problem exists, well, the current market is simply failing to provide an adequate solution. By shifting your perspective, that everyday headache becomes a literal blueprint for a brand new service.
So we are finding the hidden business opportunity here. An annoyance isn't just an annoyance. It is a giant, flashing neon sign pointing directly to a market gap. It comes down to a fundamental truth of economics. Someone, somewhere, is always willing to pay good money to solve the exact issues that cause your everyday complaints. Collective frustration is honestly just a market waiting to be served. When thousands of people are pulling their hair out over how long it takes to process a refund or how hard it is to book a reliable dog walker, that friction, that is exactly where massive value is created.
So the crucial point is understanding this concept, the problem filter. It's a framework used to identify hidden business opportunities and market gaps within everyday complaints and struggles. Think of this as a brand new pair of glasses you put on every single morning. Instead of letting a terrible coffee shop experience, say waiting 20 minutes for a lukewarm latte, completely ruin your day, the problem filter trains your brain to pause. You ask yourself, wait, why is this broken and how could it be fixed? You're actively filtering out the negative emotion and extracting the raw data of a business opportunity. You stop being the victim of a bad system and start acting as the architect of a better one.
Now, spotting the problem is really only half the battle. To actually monetize it, you need to develop consultative thinking. Let's slow down for a second here because this is a foundational academic concept and it's the engine required for true financial independence. It's a mindset shift focused on turning everyday problems into repeatable income streams. It's moving from simply observing a gap to asking, how can I package a solution for this? Consultative thinking takes the raw material caught by your filter and processes it into that repeatable income stream. Instead of just noting that corporate training videos are painfully boring, you actually start outlining exactly how you design an engaging interactive module to sell right back to those corporations.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it contrasts selling time for a fixed salary versus repeatable income. Most of the world operates on that first simple equation, right? Selling your time for a fixed salary. You work your hours, you get a predetermined paycheck. It's safe for sure, but it is fundamentally capped. Consultative thinking completely liberates you from that trap. By building out solutions to the problems you've identified, you transition over to creating repeatable income. You're no longer being paid just for your time, you're being paid for the sheer value of the solution you provide to the market. The limit suddenly becomes your ability to solve the problem, not the number of hours in your day. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but I definitely don't have thousands of dollars lying around to build a new city transit app or overhaul an entire service industry. Well, the beauty of this approach is all in the execution. You can, and absolutely should, validate ideas without spending large capital. This entirely removes the friction and the fear of needing massive funding. You do not need a huge bank loan or venture capital backing to test if your solution works. You just need a smart strategy to test the waters first.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our ultimate low-risk cheat code framework. It happens in 3 distinct steps. Step 1, identify the gap. You use your problem filter to find that specific point of friction. Step 2, sell to validate. This is absolutely crucial. Pitch your proposed solution to the exact people experiencing the problem before you've even fully built the thing. Put up a landing page or make a few phone calls. Are they actually willing to hand over their credit card for your fix? If the answer is yes, you move to step 3, build later. Only once you have confirmed real-world demand and secured some upfront revenue do you actually invest the intensive time and resources to construct the final product.
We have covered a lot of ground today. You now have the entire framework. You've got the problem filter to spot the gap, consultative thinking to design the solution, and that sell-first, build-later strategy to execute it with basically zero financial risk. So I'm leaving you with this vital question. What daily frustration are you going to monetize tomorrow? Next time you're stuck in a slow-moving line or wrestling with a hopelessly broken website, don't get annoyed, get inspired. The market is literally waiting for your solution. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.